Roger, you're a bit of a fan of his. I know you've met the man as well.
I'm a big fan, and he's such a massive figure in Japan. I mean, he's a sort of completely... He writes, he makes music, he writes newspaper columns, he does a big TV show, comedy TV show, and he makes these movies. And this, I understand, is the most successful movie he's ever made. It's a really, really big hit in Japan. I love it. It's sort of classic Kitano. He's a blind swordsman, stroke samurai. Not quite sure whether he's a samurai. And he sort of has a bit of a run-in with the sort of local gangsters in old Japan.
It's not a samurai movie in the traditional sense in any way, is it? Although I assume I don't think it's a samurai, but it's Edo period Japan, I think they're in. So
yes, Asano is a Ronin. He describes himself as a Ronin.
Which is a masterless samurai.
He's a masterless samurai. So we're never quite sure who Kitano's character is, but he's clearly a very sort of dangerous man. He's masquerading as a masseur when he comes into town. He stays with this farmer's wife.
Well, we've all done that.
Goes out gambling, and soon they begin to wonder who he is.
Did you find it, did it work for you on the level of it being a kind of action movie, or did you find it more of a kind of an oddity? Was it enjoyable in the sort of traditional sense?
No, I think it's a great action movie, and it's a little bit mad, and that's what makes it more interesting than your average sort of genre flick. I think it's a bit of a mad movie, and that's why I like it.
I'm not a fan of the genre, and it's like watching, your umpteenth cowboy movie, really, isn't it? And it's the same things come back again and again, and you're either into that and love looking at how little differences are between one director and another director, or you don't. And personally, I don't. I find it fun, but it didn't touch me.
It's not a life-changing experience.
It's not a life-changing experience.
Doesn't have much to say about the human condition, I don't feel. For those reasons, I'm intrigued to see what Gillian made of it. Did you like it?
I did find it fun. I felt like the slapstick stuff just went a little bit too far. That guy running around in his diaper, sorry, trying to be a samurai. It just took it a bit too far, and also the old one out because the rhythmic peasants dancing in the field, I just couldn't. And possibly it reminded me too much of Dance from the Dark, that kind of rhythm, which had such a profound impact on me that I couldn't tell whether it was a homage to or a copying of or what, and it kind of disrupted the film for me because it took me so far out of what the storyline was, and I couldn't quite figure out whether it was a scene transition or a filler, or whether, I didn't know.
The film has been described as the Japanese version of Clint Eastwood doing The Lone Ranger. I mean, that's the equivalent.
Yeah.
And so there is a slightly tongue-in-cheek element here, and so for me, I'm not too thrown out when something a bit odd happens.
Fascinating character, though, that blind man. And the stillness, he'd do his whoosh, and then there'd be this pause as he kind of regained his composure again.